Hey guys, Ash here from the Colours and Blues, and I hope you're all well on this end of season of footy. What we're going to do weekend? Oh Jesus! Normally, I was getting ready to do a match preview for tomorrow's game against Liverpool. Of course, as we all know, that is off, and for the foreseeable future, we have no footy to enjoy. So, you want some footy? You either get out your FIFA, or you get out your DVDs, or if you're even lucky enough to have a VHS, get the VHS out. And I think I still have it at home somewhere, a VHS video of the 4-4 derby. I think I still have it somewhere, at least I hope I do. That's what you're going to have to do to get your footy enjoyment. Or if you have kids, kick the ball around with the kids. There you go, if it's not too cold outside. But anyway, I just do a video just because obviously the big topic of the moment is if what's going to happen with the rest of the season. Obviously, most fans of a particular club, namely us, would happily see it being null and void. Like it looks like it's going to happen in most of the other countries. Now, to be perfectly fair to Liverpool, they have been the biggest, the best side in the league this season, by a country mile. Whether you take in VAR, instigations or blames, or conspiracies, if you want to call it into that. They are definitely the best team, even with the VAR table as they call it. It'd still be 11 points clear. So they would go on to win it unless something miraculously happened after that 10-year-old kid sent in his letter to Jurgen Klopp. And the letter came out saying, please lose games, and all of a sudden they did lose games, and obviously we were no more happy on Wednesday when they were knocked out of the Champions League. Though obviously since then the season has ended, and it remains to say what's going to happen with the season. Me personally, I think what's going to happen is I think what's going to happen is the UEFA crowd are going to meet up, I think, at some stage early next week to discuss the European Championships. And what I believe is going to happen if the European Championships get cancelled or postponed till next year, I believe what will happen is on April the 4th, when they start reopening discussions on what's going to happen this season, they will decide to play the rest of the season during the summer. That's what I believe is going to happen. So they'll play, 9 or 10 games, 8, 9, 10 games. They'll play the rest of those games during the summer, and that will give time for hopefully the virus to move on, or to be contained, controlled. I don't think we'll be as lucky as to have a cure for it, but I think that's what's going to happen with the season, which means a couple of games in, Liverpool get the 2 wins or whatever it is that they need. They win the league, that's sorted, and it just means that it's the European spots and of course the relegation. A lot of fans are calling for to end right now, be null and void, and you just start afresh. Next season, and most clubs might turn around and say, "Yeah, great idea." But there's clubs that are not going to like that, namely Liverpool, for obvious reasons, because they have to wait another 30 years before they get a title. Secondly, you'll have the teams like Manchester United, Wolves, Sheffield United, who are currently chasing or holding European positions, and if they don't get that, especially for the likes of Wolves, Sheffield United, that's huge money for them in revenue. So they would obviously want the season to be completed, not voided. And the opposite end of who would be happier at the bottom. So Norwich, Aston Villa, those teams, they would love to see it null and void, because that means that they're deprived for the season. But then that means it's unfair on the 3 teams in the Championship who will be getting promotion into the Premier League. So there's all different things there to take into effect. If the case scenario happened that the Premier League did decide that the season is null and void, you can be absolutely sure that Liverpool will appeal it and go crazy over it. We'll probably have mass parades, protesting it. And to be perfectly honest, let's be truthful, if this was Everton and if this was the situation that we were in and we haven't won the league for so many years, we'd do the same thing. So you in one sense, one half of us might be laughing at them, but the other half will be, you can understand why they do it. So it'd be very interesting to see where that goes. But I think the Premier League clubs are meeting up at some stage next week to themselves to have their say on what they think should happen with the season. So it's very, very interesting time for not just relegation threatened teams, possible relegation threatened teams, European teams, and then obviously the teams who are going, to win the title, namely Liverpool, Manchester City. But it's never going to happen that Liverpool will lose enough games for City to somehow get back. It would be amazing, of course, but we just don't see it's going to happen. It's sad for the members who couldn't obviously get over for the game. I'm not too sure if anyone still went over to enjoy their trip over there. And it was a bit of a sad note then for Aaron, one of our members from the USA, who has been called back to the United States from college because of COVID-19. And he was looking forward to having his final game, obviously in the Mercantile, tomorrow evening. But of course, that is not going to happen now. I think he has to return on the 21st. So I think we're all going to miss the guy. He's been a great laugh and been a great member, a great support for the club, and hopefully he's going to bring home some very welcome and fond memories from the Gunners and Blue Supporters Club of Ireland back to the United States. So yeah, that's it, guys. There's very little that we can do on the front regarding other news. I haven't heard too much now of what's happening with the squad since they went into self-isolation. It just looks like it's going to get from bad to worse. More players are coming out, more things are being cancelled. Strangely enough though, Cheltenham went ahead, and all the people from Cheltenham would have came back either yesterday or they're coming home today. But I understand that there are strict conditions that they all have to face regardless of where you're from. If you're coming back from Cheltenham, you are being stringently checked when you come back, and rightly so. Like yours truly, officially after today, I am on pretty much a 2-week break due to because of lack of, I suppose, business. Hotels are going to be suffering, bars are going to be suffering. Our good old famous Copperface Jacks, even though it's a place I don't go into, they're closed until the 29th. Other restaurants, bars, they are following suit. I believe what will happen, I know they were trying to push for pubs to be closed on Paddy's Day, but for God's sake, cinemas, I think they're closed. You have the tourism spots, distilleries, museums, parks, even like going into the likes of the churches, they're all cancelled. You can get into the ground in likes of say St. Patrick's Cathedral, but if there's more than 100 people in there, you ain't getting in. So it's a kind of a time for especially from the States, people who've come over to visit the country for St. Patrick's weekend, or in this case it's a midweek before the festivities. So I can see why as a precaution they should close. But where else would they go then? You go from so many thousand on the streets for St. Patrick's Day for the parade. Now you go on to that's gone, so they're all going to just move into the pub. If you take the pubs away, the next thing they're going to do is move into the hotels where they're staying, and obviously that puts pressure then on the hotels, namely like ourselves, not just to provide the service, but always to keep that the distance spacing that we're all trying to do. To and if you have all your hotel guests in your hotel and your restaurant having dinner and drinks, it's spondulics as they say. But it kind of also puts pressure on people, make sure that everywhere is sanitised, cleaned and all that kind of jazz. So sorry we're getting off the old football topic, but it's part of it, isn't it? Because of that, we can't enjoy the rest of our season. We would have already, I think, as Brendan said, I don't think we would have had a game until April the 2nd or something anyway, so we would have had time to wait for another game. It just means now our wait is even longer. So yeah, we'll just have to see what happens. Any news that comes out of the Blues, within the club and stuff like that, we will of course let the guys on Facebook and other social media platforms. If you like to contact, head over to YouTube and have a look at the other videos I've been doing. A bit mad. And thanks to, there was one of the guys that was I think he watches the Mighty Blues. He sent me a message on the YouTube page and said we should have more subscribers, and yes, we should. So get the subscriptions in there, have a look and go over and have a bit of a giggle. It's like anything else, guys. I'm doing the videos for you. As long as you want to see the videos, I'll keep doing them. Until then, guys, we'll talk to you very, very soon, and hopefully we shall get back to our footy. Cheerio. Take care.